For the Unit 5 review, number 1 says the measure of two angles in a triangle are 29 degrees and 46 degrees. What is the measure of the third angle? So I would add the two angles that I was given. And that's 75. And then I would subtract 75 from 180 degrees. And this would give me 105 degrees, which is letter B. In number 2, they want to find the value of x and all three angle measurements. So we're going to have to add all three of these together to equal 180 degrees. Alright, so I combine like terms 6, 11, and 3. And that would give me 20x. And then negative 1 plus 1 would cancel it out to make 0. So then that equals 180. And if I divide by 20, then x is 9. So now I need to plug 9 into each one of the expressions to get the angle measurements. So for angle A, 6 times 9 would be 54 degrees. Here, 3 times 9 plus 1 is 27 plus 1, which is 28. And that's angle C. And then 11 times 9 minus 1 would be 99 minus 1 is 98. Alright, for number 3, find the value of x. This time, this is your exterior angle. These are your two remote angles inside of the triangle. So you would say x plus 38 equals the exterior, which is 112. And then I would just subtract the 38, and x would give me 74 degrees. Okay, and number 4, very same theorem, it's just that we have more algebra. So again, I'm going to add these two remote interior angles together. And I will equal that to the exterior, which is 140. So here, 5 and 5 make 10x. Negative 6 minus 4 would be negative 10. And that equals 140. So I add 10, we get 150. Divide by 10, and x would be 15. If I plug the 15 back into, let's do angle A first. 5 times 15, that is 75, minus 4 would give me 71 degrees. And then 5 times 15 minus 6 would be 75 minus 6, which then is 69 degrees. Okay, so if I add the two angles together, this should equal the exterior, which is 140. 9 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1, that's 13, plus the 1 is 14, that's 140. So we could double check that to make sure it's right. Alright, in number 5, we have to do quite a few steps here. So the first step is I would find x because I'm given these two angles in this triangle. So 31 and 109 give me 140. If I subtract that from the 180 in the triangle total, we get 40. So I know that this is 40 degrees. Now, two things. One, to get y, I could take 180 minus this 40 and get 140 degrees. I also know that this exterior angle of this triangle is the sum of 31 and 109. Well, that's 140 if I add those together. So either way, you could get y. So that's 140. And then I would add 140 and 24. And get 164, and then to get z, I would subtract that, 164, from 180, and this gives me 16 degrees. All right. Oh, no. Yeah, 16 degrees. So something is not right though. Oh yeah, 6 and 4. Yeah, okay, we're good. So 40, 140, and 16. All right, moving on. Number 6. For this one, you must interpret the directions. It says find the value of AC if angle C and angle B are congruent. All right, well, let's make some markings here. So I'm getting some highlighters. All right, so if angle C and angle B are congruent, then twist your paper around, okay? And you can see that this is an isosceles triangle where these are your legs that are congruent. So your two legs are both going to be 14. So what is the length of AC? Well, it'd be what the length of AB is, which is 14. Okay, so let's put in 14. All right, number 7, solve for X. So here, for this one, we understand that we're given two congruent legs. Okay, so again, I'm going to twist this around so that we can see that if we have these to be congruent, then this angle and this angle are also congruent. So what I would do is I would take 180 minus 56, okay, and this would give me 124. But this angle plus this angle equals 124, so I would divide the 124 by 2 and get 62 degrees. So X is 62 degrees. Okay? In number 8, it says find the value of X and the value of Y. And so to do so, I would want to note, let's see, that this and this angle are congruent because the two legs here are equal. And so I would do 180 minus the 118 because these two angles right here are supplementary. And so 180 minus 118 is 62. So that's this angle. But because these two are congruent, Y is also 62. Okay? I know, like, I felt like that should be an X, but it's labeled Y, so make sure you put it in the right spot. Now, if these are both 62, 62, we're going to add those together. Get 124, and then I would subtract 124 from the 180 to get the X value, which is 56. Okay, number 9, very, 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 very similar. Okay, if this is supplementary right here, okay, that's the same thing that's going to happen here. So these are congruent angles because your legs are the same. So 180 minus 130 gives me 50, which is X and Z. And then 180 minus 50 plus 50, which is 100, gives me 80 for my angle Y.